Vaping has now been linked to 2 deaths, one right here in Oregon. And Senator Wyden has a plan to keep kids from picking up the habit.
We can't drop the ball.
And think before you retweet. We verify how to spot fake photos circulating from Hurricane Dorian's path of destruction.
Their 2,500-mile bike ride isn't taking them anywhere near the Northwest, but their cause couldn't be more local. Who they're helping out on the trip down Route 66. Tonight on KGW News at 6. And we begin tonight with an investigation into what may be the second vaping-related death in the country, and it happened right here in Oregon.
The person died back in July, had recently used a THC vaping device from a cannabis dispensary. Now, this comes as hundreds of people nationwide have been hospitalized in more than 24 states, all linked to e-cigarette use.
It also comes at a time when states are taking powerful measures to curb their use. For example, just today, the governor of Michigan announced the state is banning flavored e-cigarettes, while the city of San Francisco has already banned the sale of vaping devices.
Then today in a news conference, Senator Ron Wyden announced his plans to keep Oregon kids from vaping. KGW's Morgan Romero was there for the announcement.
Teens and young adults are vaping at skyrocketing rates.
A new generation of nicotine users has essentially been created almost overnight,
spurring Senator Ron Wyden to push legislation in D.C. to tax e-cigarettes the way traditional cigarettes are.
We know that young people are responsive to pricing of nicotine products.
Multnomah County commissioners have been lobbying for a state tax you'll see on your November 2020 ballot that would tax vapes and e-cigarettes. Wednesday, they stood by Wyden's side to send the message, vaping isn't good for you, especially if you're young.
Because the impacts of nicotine on a developing brain are lifelong. And no one really understands that when you're 14 years old.
These devices have never been proven to help people quit smoking, and they have been shown to increase the risk that teens will smoke regular cigarettes later on.
While they're less toxic than cigarettes, county health officials say they still have harmful chemicals.
Most kids vape because the e-liquids come in fruit and candy flavors. They believe these things are safer than they truly are. There are unknown risks from unregulated liquids and by using e-cigarettes to inhale marijuana.
This push for regulation comes as severe vaping-related lung diseases have popped up in 25 states. And as Oregon investigates a middle-aged person's death in July linked to vaping.
The CDC, FDA, and state health departments are all working together to investigate these widespread lung illnesses and study samples. There's a lot of information that's unclear right now, but we set out to verify what we do know to help you better understand the situation. The CDC says all people coming in with reported lung illnesses have reported recently using e-cigarettes. There isn't an exact cause right now, so we can't verify if there's a pattern with a product, chemical, or ingredient. However, all the people getting sick say they're having trouble breathing, they're coughing, they have chest pain. Many are reporting feeling exhausted and even nauseous. So we can verify all individuals coming into the hospitals have lung issues. Now, as many of you know, e-cigarettes and vapes can have nicotine, THC, or CBD. Right now, though, we don't know exactly what is causing people to get so sick. And a lot of information out there right now, patients reporting vaping THC or CBD that they bought off the street. The government came out last week and warned people not to do that, but we can't confirm where the products are coming from. And it's important to note, most of the Americans hospitalized with lung damage are young because that's the age group that uses e-cigarettes the most. But as we saw with the death here in Oregon, adults are prone too. So age doesn't matter. Back to you guys.
Morgan, thank you. Now, if you would like us to verify something, here's how you can get us involved. You can contact us with the email you see on your screen, verify@kgw.com.
We have some sad news about a Portland hiker who went missing 3 years ago. Search and rescue crews located his body on Mount Jefferson. KGW's Devin Haskins spoke with his father on the phone today. Devin, none of us can imagine what he must be going through.
Yeah, that's right, Laurel. We spoke briefly as he was getting ready to head back home to California. He said he's relieved to finally have an answer 3 years later.
A lover of music and an experienced hiker, 21-year-old Riley Zickel set out on an overnight hike by himself on July 27th, 2016.
Well, Riley was an avid outdoorsman, and he called himself a woodsman. And he loved to solo backpack.
He was reported missing just a few days later.
Could you relay to SARCOM that we are starting our task?
And for more than a week, more than 300 search crews scoured more than 350 square miles of forest land, hoping to find the Portland hiker. After a week, the search was called off, and for 3 years, his dad, Robin, was left wondering what happened.
For me, I was trying to get used to the idea of not knowing what happened. And I believe you can learn to live with loss, but I don't think I was able to learn to live with not knowing.
3 weeks ago, hikers had located a body, but the terrain made it difficult to get to him. Robin didn't know if it was him, but had hope.
Well, we weren't really sure that that was Riley because we hadn't seen any evidence and we hadn't seen photos. They were able to recover his phone and they figured out that it was his phone.
Yesterday at Mount Jefferson, search crews were able to bring him back down off the mountain. It's a little closure and an answer of what happened to his son 3 years ago.
Lover of music, Riley's body is still with the medical examiner's office. His dad says it'll be a few more weeks before he's able to bring him back home. Back to you guys.
Glad this family can get some closure. Devin, thank you. All right, let's look at some of the other big headlines from today. Portland police and fire, they're both asking for your help now. They want to figure out who started that big fire in northeast Portland a couple weeks ago. This is the one that destroyed some homes near 85th and Siskiyou. Crime Stoppers right now offering $2,500 for information that may lead to an arrest.
Police in Sandy want you to keep a lookout for this missing woman. 37-year-old Brittany Tossig vanished early Sunday afternoon after leaving her parents' house in Sandy. She's been diagnosed with several mental illnesses and does not have access to her medication. The last her family heard from her was that she was walking to her home in Federal Way, Washington. She may be carrying a Hawaiian print tote bag.
And Kroger has now gone the way of Walmart. They're asking shoppers not to open carry guns while buying their groceries. They joined Walmart also in calling for the government to strengthen background checks. Kroger stopped selling guns at Fred Meyer stores about a year ago. Now, this latest move comes in the wake of Saturday's mass shooting in Odessa, Texas.
The cougar that stalked a jogger in a forest near Corvallis is now dead. Wildlife officials captured and killed it today in the Dunn Forest west of Oregon State University. Trails are now back open. The jogger came face to face with the cougar on Saturday, even kicked it to try to scare it off. That didn't work though. It did run away though when a couple walking a dog came by. Researchers at OSU's College of Veterinary Medicine will examine the dead cougar.
A Gresham man was in court today facing murder charges for a 40-year-old cold case.
But his family thinks he's innocent. KGW's Lindsay Nadrix explains how police connected him to the murder. Lindsay.
Police say 62-year-old Donald McQuaid's DNA is an exact match to DNA found on a murder victim in the 70s.
I believe my dad to be innocent of these charges. I feel that he doesn't have it. He doesn't have that in him to do the violence that was done to that poor girl.
Well, that's the reaction from McQuaid's daughter, who spoke to us after his court appearance today. And as you saw, she asked us not to show her face on camera. McQuaid is accused of killing 16-year-old Shelly Connolly in Anchorage, Alaska in 1978. The 16-year-old's body was found at the bottom of a steep embankment south of Anchorage. It was a cold case for decades, but thanks to new genealogy DNA testing, police developed a DNA profile for the suspect and used databases to link the DNA to the McQuaid family. Through their investigation, Alaska state troopers identified Donald McQuaid as a possible suspect, but needed a DNA match to prove it. So they contacted Gresham detectives who collected some of McQuaid's discarded cigarette butts. Police say McQuaid's DNA from the cigarettes is an exact match to DNA found on Connolly and under her fingernails. Court documents say McQuaid denies murdering her.
He's the type of guy to say, you know, it's bad now, but it gets better. you know, that don't worry about this, or I didn't do this. This will, you know, it will be proven, because he didn't.
Court documents also say McQuaid's car at the time and physical features match witness statements from the 70s. He'll be back in court on September 17th. Back to you.
Amazing. Most of the people working on this case now may not have even been born or probably were children when this crime took place. Lindsay, thank you.